Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to Bio with Musammir. How are you students? Hopefully all of you are fine. Students, from National Book Foundation, we were discussing about carbohydrates. In previous lectures, we have discussed about monosaccharides and disaccharides. Today, we will discuss about polysaccharides. Basically, the word polysaccharides is the combination of two words. The first word is poly and the second word is saccharides. What is the meaning of poly? Poly means many, and saccharides mean sugars. Now, how we can define the polysaccharides? We can define the polysaccharides as it is a class of carbohydrates consisting of more than 10 monosaccharides units linked together. In polysaccharides, basically, there are more than 10 monosaccharides units which are linked together, and these units linked together with the help of glycosidic bond. Let's discuss about their hydrolysis. On hydrolysis, the polysaccharide units yield more than 10 monosaccharide units. Basically, these polysaccharides are made up of more than 10 monosaccharide units, and if we dissolve these polysaccharides in the water, they will break into many monosaccharides units, more than 10 monosaccharides units. As far as their structure is concerned, polysaccharides are most complex and abundant molecule among the carbohydrates. What about their taste? They have no taste, so we can say that they are tasteless. As you know, taste depends on exposure of the molecules with the taste buds of the tongue. But these are larger molecules and have less exposure and have less surface area. That's why these are tasteless. And what about their solubility? These are generally insoluble in water. We cannot dissolve them in water. The reason behind this, because they have larger structures, and due to these larger structures, they are present in the form of compact masses, and because they are present in the form of compact masses, so they cannot be dissolved in the water. They are insoluble in water. Polysaccharides are of two types. There are two types of polysaccharides. One type of polysaccharides are called homopolysaccharides, and second type of polysaccharides are called heteropolysaccharides. How can we define homopolysaccharides? Basically, homopolysaccharides are those polysaccharides which are composed by one kind of monosaccharides. They only contain one kind of monosaccharides. And heteropolysaccharides are those polysaccharides which are composed by different kind of monosaccharides. If different kind of monosaccharides are present, the polysaccharides are called heteropolysaccharides, and if one type of monosaccharides are present, then these are called homopolysaccharides. So students, let's take some examples of homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. First of all, homopolysaccharides. The examples of homopolysaccharides include starch. Number one, starch. And starch is made up of alpha glucoses, same type of units. Just like this, glycogen, which is also made up of alpha glucoses, cellulose, which is made up of beta glucoses, and chitin, which is made up of N-acetyl glucosamine unit. And let's take some examples of heteropolysaccharides. Heteropolysaccharides include agar, pectin, and peptidoglycan. Agar is a heteropolysaccharide which is made up of agarose and agropectin. Agarose and agropectin, these are also polysaccharides which are also made up of further units, different type of units. And pectin is basically made up of polyglycerolic acid and salts. And peptidoglycan is made up of a glycan chain which is cross-linked with peptide bonds or peptide structures. What is the role of these polysaccharides? On the basis of a role of polysaccharides, we divide polysaccharides into two groups. First type of polysaccharides are called structural polysaccharides, and second type of polysaccharides are called storage polysaccharides. What are structural polysaccharides? Structural polysaccharides are basically involved in formation of different type of structural materials in the cell. If we take some examples of structural polysaccharides, cellulose and chitin. As you know that cellulose is involved in formation of structure of cell wall of plants and algae, and chitin is involved in the formation of structure of the cell wall of fungi. Second type of polysaccharides on the basis of role are storage polysaccharides, and storage polysaccharides function as storage molecule. Storage polysaccharides are basically large size molecules, and due to their large size they are insoluble in water, and they also function as a food energy store because they store inside the cell, and when required they break into smaller units, and we can extract energy from these molecules. Storage polysaccharides basically present inside the cell, and they exert no osmotic or chemical influence in the cell. There is no any osmotic or chemical influence in the cell because they are present in inert form, in storage form inside the cell, and they fold into compact shapes, and when they fold into compact shape, so we can say that they can act as a storage polysaccharide. If we take some examples of the storage polysaccharides, starch and glycogen. Starch and glycogen are storage polysaccharides. Starch is the reserve food material of the plants, and glycogen is the reserve food material of animals. Students, today we have discussed about polysaccharides. In the next lecture, I will discuss with you some other topics such as proteins. See you next time. Till that time, Allah Hafiz.